Hey, how you doing today? I am Taquila Coleman. In today's video, we're going to talk about God will put in your heart what you are called to do. So many of you are trying to figure out what is the purpose for your life, right? And one of the ways how I help clients to discover or even get revelation about the very thing God is calling for them to do, right, in their life is I always ask clients, what is it that God has given you a burden for, right? What breaks your heart? What is it, what problem in this world do you want to see solved, right? Because that speaks to the very thing that God is calling you, to bring a solution to. And I always say how I don't like to see single mothers or even hear about single mothers, homeless or living in a hotel, because that used to be me, right? That used to be my story, back in 2018, right? And so God has given me a burden to bring a solution to that problem, right? So again, I'm going to talk to you today about God will put in your heart what you are called to do. And I'm going to show you this in the Bible, okay? Because the Lord showed me this last night. And I want to show you. Okay, so I want you to get your Bibles out and I want you to turn to the book of Nehemiah. And we're going to read chapter 1, verses 3 and 4. So, Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. It say, they said to me, those who survived the exile and are back in the province are in great trouble and disgrace. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down and its gates have been burned with fire. When I heard these things, so this is Nehemiah. When I heard these things, I sat down and wept. You hear that? When he heard that Jerusalem was broken down and its gates have been burned with fire, it said he sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. So this, upon Nehemiah hearing this news about Jerusalem, it caused him to weep for them. It moved him into now mourning and fasting and praying on behalf, okay, of the people. And that's what it is. Like that's how you will feel when God give you that burden. It's similar to this God ordained marriage stand. God will give you a burden to stand for your prodigal spouse. And when I say the word burden, I'm not saying it in a negative context, right? A burden can be a passion. A burden can be the very thing that motivates you to continue to stand or to, move into action, right? So, so I showed you this one in Nehemiah chapter 1. Let's go over to Nehemiah chapter 2. Nehemiah chapter 2, and we're going to read verse 12. Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 12, it say, I set out during the night with a few others. So this is Nehemiah going to inspect the wall of Jerusalem. It say, I set out during the night with a few others. I had not told anyone what my God had put in my heart to do for Jerusalem. You see that? So God will put it in your heart. The very thing that God is calling for you to do, whatever problem God want to use you to solve, he's going to put it in your heart. He's going to give you a heart after that. He's going to give you a burden for it, right? It won't leave you, right? And so this is a clue, okay, or a sign that will help you to understand this is what God is calling me, to build or bring a solution to. Okay. So I wanted to show you this. This is one step closer to discovering the purpose and calling that's on your life. I am Taquila Coleman. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.